All right, we back. We back at it. You know, we went through a little glitch, so you know, we back at it. Uh, Trying to get the camera straight for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so let's get back where we left off at. Yeah, I just had an idea. I got my mom's, my grandmother, my father, my sister, but I didn't put my grandparents other than my grandmother, Roxy Woodland. We call her mama. So I'm gonna do a grandparents banner next year, and I'm gonna put my grandfather on my mother's side, Robert Wright Senior, and then I'm gonna put my grandmother again, Roxy Woodland, back on that banner, and then my grandparents on my father's side, Dolores Chambers and David Chambers Sr. You know, so yeah, so that'll be for next year. You know, um, so yeah, let's get back into some music. That's where I stopped at when it cut off. So I said I was gonna give y'all some Larry Hutchins, and yeah, so let's get to it. Hope y'all staying cool out there. It's 100 degrees here in the DMV, and everybody just trying to stay cool right now. You know, we don't need nobody going out of here with no heat strokes, getting sick, falling out, passing out. You know, me and my son round 6, we gonna go try to play some ball. You know what I'm saying? And the sun is going down, and we're gonna go by the water down Haynes Point. So therefore, you know, we're gonna be by the water where the breeze gonna be blowing. So yeah, you know, it ain't stopping nothing. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Larry Hutchins, baby. Let's go. You try to know about that 1970s. That's how we get down. Yeah, show you right.
Negro masses all over began to reevaluate themselves. The Negro came to feel that he was somebody. His religion revealed to him that God loves all of his children, and that all men are made in his image, and that figuratively speaking, every man, from the base black to a treble man, is a gift on the Rings on a chain, rings on a chain, rings on a chain, rings on a chain. People of the world take to my short end of time. We can't go on living in the past, 'cause the world is moving kind of fast. Just make sure you know what.
All right. I gotta salute the Boston Celtics that did their thing. You know, uh, you know, I think they could have swept them boys, and you know, instead of going, uh, what's that? They could have did it in 4 games instead of 5. That's what I want to say. You know, I think due to the TV advertising, Vegas, all the sports betting entities, they didn't want to see a sweep for the finals. And I think that's why it was able to go 5 games, instead of 4. They could have swept them boys. And, you know, uh, that's just my take on it. But let's just try to break down what we saw. If you saw the championship, Tatum, Jalen Brown, that boy Derek White, Holiday, Porzingis coming off from injury like he never left that first game he played with 38 games that he missed. It looked like he never left in that first game. He went off. You in the finals, you got to bring it, and that's what he did. And, I'm happy for Boston. And Drew Holiday got 2 rings now. And it just shows that these teams are quick to push the veterans out. But the veterans represent leadership. As we age, the goal is to get more mature, and as we mature, we have to school the individuals and the younger individuals coming behind us, because with age it has to be wisdom. That's how it goes. You go from player in the game to being a coach. Yeah, and a coach can be on all levels. A coach of life, a coach in like workplace. You're an employee and then you a supervisor. So as we age, leadership is a must that you come into as you mature, or you useless at the end of the day. As you mature, you have to learn how to grow and how to lead and how to give the youngsters some advice, life skills, and so forth. Or you're not doing nobody of service, not even yourself. So let's get on point about that. You know, and I'm talking like that because Drew Holiday brought that leadership, that championship mentality. Yes, you had the talent, but the talent wasn't seasoned. And that makes a hell of a difference. So you teams, you pro teams, stop booting all the veterans out, because these the guys that gotta prep the young guys on how to be great. They have the natural talent, but it needs to be polished. They need to learn how to morph into being great. Great example, when Champ Bailey came to the Redskins, Darryl Green was like on the down end of his career. So Darryl Green took Champ Bailey under his wing, taught him everything, let him know what he needed to do. He was already raw with the talent, but he needed to be polished. He needed to just see and hear from what a veteran, a Hall of Famer would do, and how to do it, and how they did it when they were that age, when he was a youngster and possessed the speed and the skill set that he possessed at that age. He taught him, hey, you a young buck, you strong, you fast. We're gonna get longevity out your skills. Now Champ Bailey is a Hall of Famer thanks to Darryl Green. You know what I'm saying? So that's an example of how you need the veterans to you need the young bucks to shadow the veterans. And this don't work if the veterans don't want to work with them. If they don't welcome teaching the next man up all that he know, because you're morphing out of the scene. You done had your time. Now you on the down slope of things, and you need to be negotiating, getting your money. And from that point on, you need to be preparing for the next phase. Do you want to commentate? Do you want to open your business? Do you want to partner with businesses and whatnot? So yeah, so that's how that go. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, you know, uh, so that's how they get down like that, you know. And what else I want to talk about? Okay, I got one for you. I'm in my 50s, 54 to be exact. And the conversation among my peers is retirement, 401ks, IRAs, your Roth account. I just learned that, today I was listening to a financial podcast, and it was saying that for, God forbid, you know, uh, you get sick, and while being sick, you just don't die. You go into some kind of incapacitation, meaning you're not functioning. You like in a coma or something. Say like you have a stroke and you go into a coma type situation. And I found out that unless it's stipulated in your will, your family can't access the money that will be paid out to whoever the beneficiary is until you actually die. So suppose you need treatment to stay alive because your family feel like you'll pull through. Until you die, they can't access none of that money. So we need to get on the tip about making wills. You know, I learned about that when you will your assets to your loved ones, like your kids in general, you can set it up where it goes into some kind of entity where, say like, if, say like your, hello? Oh, okay. I thought it'd be stalling. Okay, it'd be buffering. All right. So say like if you will your assets, say like some money, you will some money to your, say like you got 300,000 in your account, your personal account, and you set it up, PAD, pay on, what is it? Pay arrival or death, something of that nature. PAD. Uh, it's an entity in a will that you can set it up. Say like your son or daughter, whoever you will your money to. It's such an entity where you can put it in a will or trust where creditors can't touch that money. Because all of a sudden, if your son or daughter come into some money and she in some serious debt or he's in serious debt, and these creditors find out about this money being willed to them, they can come after that money. So, let's get our weight up and learn about wills, and let's raise questions that these professionals, we need them to answer, but they're not going to answer the questions unless we ask the questions and the right questions. So let's get educated on, when you make the will, where does this money go? What type of will we need to set up to protect that money that's willed to our loved ones, where that money will be protected from creditors. See, people don't think of stuff like that. So we need to get and be about our business and be on our game in that retrospect. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm trying to give y'all some gems, what I digested, within, the week, or just in general. I try to come when I do talk, try to give you some game, some information, because this is what this platform is about. For the most part, I come for the information. When I look at everybody else, uh, when I look at their platforms, and yes, some people, they indulge in the entertaining, the investigations, and I like to mix it up. I'm not just a one trick pony. You know what I'm saying? I might break out and sing to y'all one day. Trust me, I had me a few drinks before I do that, because I can't sing. So yeah, I'll get creative on y'all, and for you, and yeah. So let's see what's popping, as we talking about what's popping right now. I'm loving the Willie D podcast that has Christopher Williams as a guest. And I never seen Christopher Williams nowhere on nobody podcast talking. And Jaguar Wright been talking about for years that for his record deal, he got on his knees for Puff, and he like, you know, I don't know where you got your information, but it's wrong, and you know, uh, yeah. So he's like, you don't know me, and you shouldn't be putting out that information like that. You know, it was like, you want to me, you look like a crackhead, and now she's offended that he done snapped back at her, you know. Yeah, so that information, he called her a crackhead. He like, you talking about me now, I retaliate on what I think about you. Now you upset. Then she come back talking about you stole earphones from the Sears, JBL, and uh not the Bose, not the Dre Beats or whatever. So yeah, it's just messy. But I'm watching the Willie D podcast, and he really giving up some gems about the music business and why he faded from the scene and so forth, and why he think he got blackballed because he wasn't gonna, adhere to what he didn't believe in as far as his image. So he like, I dropped the record label. They didn't drop me. And I wasn't dropped on the strength of me not making good music. It was because I was trying to stick up for the integrity of my music. you know, and they were trying to make me Hammer, you know, or the next Bobby Brown, and he was like, I wasn't going for that. So I was at odds saying, you know, either you're gonna do what they want you to do or they're gonna show you the door. So I had to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? As of all artists that don't go with the program, they blackball you. They shuff your music, and you know, now you have to reinvent yourself and go in other areas on what's next for you. You get what I'm saying? So I'm looking at something now that was talking about how they hid the relationship of Prince and Michael Jackson from us. So they insinuating that they were friends, whereas though they'll make us believe that they were rivals or whatever. So let's see what they talking about.
Kurt motor is crazy every day. Sooner or later, you might wonder
And this
why I
platform
forgot
is
the
called the
perception.
Thriller
Once
Effect.
I changed my name, it had no effect on me. How do you feel when they call you? Yeah, Wacko Jacko. Where'd that come from? You should not say he's an animal. I'm not a Jacko. I'm Jackson. I have a heart and I have feelings. I feel that when you do that to me. Afraid of holding his most vital work back. Michael got his master's early, and he snatched up several other catalogs and leveled up until he knew 50% of Sony publishing. It's not surprising how we got here. People change when you become successful. How they interact with you, what they want from you, and if they can leverage you. Same pattern like I took with these other people in the past. There is a big fight going on right now. I can't comment on it. There's a lot of conspiracy. I'll say there's a lot of conspiracy going on as we speak about that. And I pray a lot. That's how I deal with it. When Prince got Paisley Park is around that time. They were trying to squeeze him. They wanted to come from many angles and box him in and cut off his resources. And they wanted to take his studio away from him. I was being accused of being a bad businessman and things like that with my record label over there. I just did good business, you know. So I'm leaving Sony a free agent, owning half of Sony. They're very angry at me because of the moment you step away from that and you want to take control of your own experience, you'll find you're not hot anymore. My level of trust will change. You have to remember Prince, when he was 17, turned down the first record deals he was offered because he insisted on creative control. I always thought I was bad. I wouldn't have got in the business if I didn't pay that back. He was setting himself up a very different career than the way Michael thought about his career. Prince did not want to start the mill. He wanted to be treated as a rock artist, did not want to do Soul Train. Michael Jackson went from the Chitlin circuit to the attention of Motown, teamed them to the biggest black artists, and then he paced his way to that mountaintop. Prince went to his managers, you're going to give me a feature film deal. If you don't do it, you're fired, and somebody else will do it.
Mm.
In the 80s, two musicians were consistently pitted against each other. It's like you were either a Michael Jackson fan or you were a Prince fan. The media would have had you believing that they were rivals, some kind of musical war. But they was fantastic performers. Prince and Michael Jackson drove each other. A kind of friendly competition. I can go there, and I'm a fighter. I'm very competitive. In 1982, Eddie Van Halen played a guitar solo on Michael's Thriller album. Quincy called Ed and invited him to record a guitar solo on Beat It. The song topped the Billboard charts. Later, Ed's solo was all over the radio and MTV. Michael said, I like using people who are the best in their field. On February 7, 1984, CBS threw a huge party at the Museum of Natural History for 1,200 guests to celebrate the success of Thriller, which is still the biggest selling album in history. Prince was one of Warner Brothers' rising stars. His album, 1999, was selling very well for us. He was a big star. His goal was to eclipse Michael's success. And he told the executive team that in a number of meetings I attended. I gave him free reign to come in and use my office. One day in 1983, he showed up. He said he wanted to talk about something. He sat down. I asked him what was wrong. He said, I have to find a way to knock Michael out of the #1 spot. And it was driving him crazy that Thriller was breaking all the sales records. You really want to top Michael? He nodded, yes! Get Quincy Jones to produce your next album. His eyes got wide. He sprang out of his seat. What?
I like that history. I love it.
He become unglued. I produced my own records. He stormed out, still yelling. A year later, Purple Rain became a runaway success. He produced it himself.
There is no question that Michael Jackson was acutely aware of Prince's talent and his ascent. I am convinced that just the knowledge of Prince had a lot to do with why Michael sought out guitar superstars for his solo albums. Michael had a keen eye on competition.
The greatest selling album of all time was a target to strive for. Thriller had become the standard in music. The fires of their competitive spirits were formed in Midwestern America.
Papa Motown was a great school.
Competition means champ. Very humorously competitive. We were fiercely competitive against each other. Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Alexander O'Neill, all these characters were alive and roaming the streets of Minneapolis. As a black musician in Minneapolis, you had very few options to play. We had to create options.
It doesn't really matter how good you are if you can't find a place to play.
It was another reality.
You can't find a place to play, make your own place. That's when the whole Battle of the Bands came into play. Talent shows at Lincoln Junior High.
The competition was fierce. Yeah, very competitive.
Yeah, it was very competitive.
You hear that?
Duality and
When you can't find nothing that will accept, you create your own. That's where the podcast wave came from. Now you can have your own platform and you're your own entity. You're your own talent. You're your own content. You sing, you dance, you rap, whatever. Or you just want to give commentary. You get me? You got a guest. Who are you? Introduce yourself. Welcome to Streeetsiiifinest Finest Podcast, 3rd year. Thanks for stopping by.
Predetermined only selling it for a second, automatic limitations on what the record company would do in terms of promotion, marketing. He put out a first album, nobody seemed to notice. It made it on the R&B charts. The R&B charts was its own ghetto. Most people in the record industry didn't even read the R&B charts. Prince wants to do the time, and he wanted the Rolling Stones tour. So I go to Quincy Jones, who I had worked with Brothers Johnson. Well, while I'm in the studio talking to Quincy, Prince is outside in the car. And I said, Quincy, I need for you to do this, that, and whatever. He said, Barry, I can't right now because I'm in the studio with Michael, and we're doing Off the Wall. I felt a tap of equipment that could take him even much further. So we took a shot.
Because there's other kinds of sounds of music that I love to do. It hurts what is inside of me and it can't get out.
Right after I graduated from college, I was able to get my job at Right On Magazine, and I became the editor about 6 months later. The company that owned Right On had a licensing deal that Motown had set up. Somebody had to be able to get along with the Jacksons because they had to be in every single issue of the magazine. Prince used to call the job all the time. He would just ignore his calls. We didn't know who he was, never heard of him. His music was different. I found out he was on Warner Brothers, and they said, look, this guy, we can sell more posters of him than we can sell records. He would call like 2 or 3 times a day. People were tired of talking to him. He called and said, come to SIR recording studios. After that, I will have to be in the magazine. Went down there, he started playing all these different instruments. I was like amazed. He was really gorgeous looking at these green eyes, the big afro. Nobody's seen anyone like him before. I agreed to put him in the magazines. After getting in the magazine, it became a lot easier. And even Michael Jackson would say, who is he?
We were looking to make music for the masses, for everybody, and let everybody decide if they liked it.
Well, now it's time for the AT10 Spotlight Album of the Week. Michael Jackson's Off the Walls produced 4 hit singles.
The rock with Jules when she's out of my life, Off the Walls, and Don't Stop Till You Get Enough.
Oh, when I do those solo albums and I'm doing all kinds of
I like to hear about that history like that. You know what I'm saying? Michael and Prince, you know, trying to be the best that they could be and trying not to let Prince up on that #1 spot, which he got to anyway, because he was brilliant. And you hear he made the point that I didn't need Quincy Jones. I made my own music, but yet he agreed to let Quincy play on his music. Black and beautiful. Black and beautiful, baby. Yeah. Happy Juneteenth. That just passed. It's the second year. Like, share, subscribe. Third year. You know what I'm saying? Streets Finest Podcast. Thank you for rocking with me. And we're gonna keep coming at you with some information, and some intelligent conversation, some necessary conversation. And yeah, I'll keep giving you some old school because that's what I represent at this point. You know what I'm saying? And I embrace being an elder and getting older. I'm blessed to still be here, and a lot of friends done gone home, family members. So I'm doing it for them, representing, and I feel like it's our duty to teach, the next generation what we've learned and how to navigate out here, and to stay out of trouble, stay out the way, and win out here. That's what's important. We need to teach these youngins on how to win and how to be successful in their own right, you know, whatever it is that your skill set is, be the best, be successful, and go for yours. And let me emphasize on this, and this is what I tell my son on a regular. Closed mouth don't get fed, and being lazy is gonna get you nowhere. It ain't gonna get you no money, and it ain't gonna get you success. You gotta go out here and be about your business. You work hard, you play hard. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Streets Finest Podcast, third year, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, third year. You know, put up the threes like the basketball players do. You know what I'm saying? Put up the threes when you hit them 3 pointers. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I'll be back at y'all. I'm gonna rock out in my new blazer, my new evening coat the rest of the month, and keep giving you different looks and whatnot, because that's what we do. We spend a lot of money on these threads, and you know, so we gonna make it do what it do. So we out. Peace. Where my curse at? All right, that'll work.